When I think of the people that work in the woods in the South Downs National Park, I see them as the guardians. They're people that have dedicated their lives and their livelihoods to the richness, the diversity, to the beauty of this landscape, the trees and the woodlands that grow here.
I'm Lucy Wall-Palmer and I make charcoal in a little 8-acre coppice, which I've been spending the last 6 years trying to bring back into rotation. Anything that's too big to be a hedging stake pretty much goes through my kilns. Firstly, have wood that's seasoned and cut, split and stacked to dry. You load it into your kiln, take the fire, monitor the fire for anywhere between 12 and 24 hours. When the smoke changes colour from being white to being kind of blue, translucent colour, then you know that everything inside that kiln has converted to make charcoal. I would describe myself as having the woodland as my guardian. I feel that she looks after me as much as I look after her. And yes, I would do anything to protect it, and I am doing the best I can for something that is giving me my bread and butter.
My name's Sean Reeves and I work at the Sustainability Centre, and my title is Education Officer. I work in the woods with people of different ages, mainly young people. When we're young people out in the woods, something magical happens. Sometimes they can just be a simple thing, like no one looks up, most people look down, they're either on their mobile devices, like, and they will look up into the canopy and they can see how wonderful it is. It's just getting them outside, and you've got the sounds, the smells, just getting them excited about the woodlands, what lives in the woodlands, the products we can use, the wood that we can use to make things. I will show them how to actually get a fire going. I'll show them where to find the wood, the right type of wood, what wood's going to burn. They might use a bit of silver birch and just scrape a bit of outer bark off, and with the weakest of sparks they can get a fire going. Now, some people say some of the stuff I'm teaching, they like to call it survival skills, bushcraft. It's none of that. They're just old skills. They're old skills that we knew, that we don't use no more. So you just empower them with knowledge, and I like doing that with them, like, and seeing them get excited. The woods do all the work. It's not me, it's the woods that do it. They do these activities in the woods, and being out in this is the magic. Perfect. I always tell the young people, you know, I'm the caretaker at the moment. I'm just looking after this so you can take over.
My name is Nina Williams and I work for English Woodlands Forestry as a forest manager. I think it's really important to be respectful of the trees that we work with, and yes, we might fell a tree when it's right in their life cycle for us to do so. I'm always very mindful of what they've given the forest in their way up to that point, and how much we are replanting after we've felled it. And the biggest thing we can do to respect the trees is to make sure that if we do cut a tree down, it is used fully to live on and be something useful. Whether that's go into furniture making and planks, fencing and firewood. The smaller branches will go into chipwood. I myself, when I plant a tree, will never see it come to its final end product. That will be beyond my lifespan, and I'm inheriting things that my predecessor and the foresters before me have left in place. So it really does feel like you're passing the baton over in forestry, and it's a matter of pride really to make sure that you respect what's been done before and then continue to sustainably manage that up to the next phase when I'll hand it off to someone else to do. The South Downs are where my heart is. I grew up here as a child. I've travelled the world, but I find myself back here. This landscape feels so grounded and old, and it's so diverse. I wouldn't do anything else. I love it.
I'm Alison Crowther and I am a furniture maker, artist, sculptor, living and working in the South Downs National Park using unseasoned English oak. I get to know the pieces of wood, the tree intimately, and that relationship builds throughout the process. My intention is to keep the integrity of the tree in the piece of work so that the knots and the cracks where the branches were, where the annual rings, the growth rings are, is all drawn attention to. It's incredibly important that the materials come from the South Downs National Park, from as locally to the studio as possible. For every tree that is cut down to make these sculptures, there are a minimum of 8 trees replanted. The South Downs woodlands to me are everything. They're my inspiration, they're my raw material, and they are the whole community of people that I work with. So from the foresters to the timber frame carpenters, all of that is essentially my life.
I'm Ben Law and I make my living from just under 100 acres of primarily coppice woodland. I make a range of products from quite small diameter garden products like fencing and gates up to larger products like buildings and roofing shakes, which are wooden tiles for the roofs. A lot of people don't realise how wooded the South Downs is. When people think of the South Downs, they tend to see the rolling hillside of the Downs themselves. And people have a really important role to play in the South Downs woods. Coppice woodlands, probably more than any other landscape system, is dependent on people. If you take the people out of the coppicing cycle, the biodiversity decreases. The coppice grows tall, the woodland becomes high forest, the light doesn't get there, the flowers can't appear, they're the food plants for the butterflies, etc. So by restoring the woodland, cutting the coppice, we're starting to see the increase in wildflowers, the butterflies coming back, really good mixture of bird life coming through. So the human element is actually a really essential part of a coppicing cycle, and the benefit of that is we get all the wood products that we can do so much in. So it really is a living landscape. My role is as a steward of the woodlands. I'm taking woodlands that have been neglected and getting them back into condition so that future generations are able to manage them and have the woods as productive as they once were, maybe 2 generations ago. But my actual time in the woods is just like a flicker of a leaf. These woods have been here thousands of years and they'll go on way beyond me and way beyond probably all of us. So it's a small time frame I'm here, but you can make a big impact if you pass something on in better condition than when you started.
I think we should be celebrating the people that shape these woodlands, really providing so much for us as a society. Clean air, somewhere to play, timber, clean water, amazing landscapes, and I think that's a really important thing. They have a gift of being able to see the larger timeline, to see beyond your own lifetime, and that is a real vocation. It's something that is in your heart, it's something that is in your bones.